I'm Chloe, your French instructor, and joining me as always is our enthusiastic learner, Devendra.
Bonjour, Chloe. I'm so excited for today's lesson. It feels like we're really getting into more practical conversation topics.
Absolutely, Devendra, and bonjour to everyone watching this video. If you're new here and want a steady drip of these lessons, subscribe to Langmitra. We ship one a week. Today, we're diving into where in the world, learning to talk about nationality and origin in French. Last time, we mastered je m'appelle and basic greetings. Remember how important identity is in introductions? Well, today, we're adding another crucial layer, where you're from. And make sure you stick around for our cultural deep dive later in the episode. It's a common point of confusion for many learners, but we'll clear it right up.
That's perfect, Chloe. I always feel a bit stuck when someone asks me where I'm from in French, and I only know how to say my name.
Not anymore, Devendra. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to confidently say where you're from and ask others too. So let's start with the most common way to state your nationality, je suis, which means I am.
Je suis. Okay, simple enough.
Exactly. Now, the tricky part for English speakers, Devendra, is that nationality adjectives in French change depending on whether you're masculine or feminine, just like with petit and petite for small.
Ah, yes, gender agreement again. I remember that from our last lesson on basic adjectives. So if I'm a man, I use one form, and if I were a woman, I'd use another?
Precisely. Let's take a common example, French. If you are a man, you say français. Can you try that, Devendra?
Français.
Excellent, Devendra. Now, if I, Chloe, were French, I would say française with an E at the end, and the pronunciation changes slightly. It becomes française. Can you try repeating français and then française, français, française? Très bien. You got that Z sound at the end for the feminine. That's a key pattern. Many nationalities ending in ace in the masculine will add an E and change to an ace sound in the feminine. Let's try another one, English. For a man, it's anglais.
Anglais.
Perfect. And for a woman, it's anglaise.
Anglaise.
Wonderful, Devendra. You're picking up on the pronunciation change really well. So if I wanted to say I am French and I'm a woman, I'd say je suis française. And you, Devendra, how would you say I am English if you were English? I would say je suis anglais. Fantastique. Now, let's look at another common pattern for nationalities ending in en in the masculine. For example, Canadian. For a man, it's canadienne. Can you try that? Canadienne. Good. And for a woman, we double the N and add an E. Canadienne. It sounds a bit soft.
See how the N sound is more pronounced in the feminine? This EN-ENE pattern is common. Let's practice with Indian. For a man, indien, indienne. Superb. And for a woman, indienne, indienne. You're doing great with those nasal sounds, Devendra. So if you are from India, you would say, je suis indienne. Parfait. And if you were talking about a female friend from India, you'd say, elle est indienne. Now, for our final pattern for this block, let's look at AN nationalities, like American. For a man, it's américain, américain. Good. And for a woman, we add an E, américaine. The N sound becomes less nasal and more distinct. Américaine. Magnifique, Devendra. You're really nailing these subtle pronunciation shifts. So to recap, we have AS, AS, like français, française, EN, ENE, like canadienne, canadienne, and AN, ANE, like américain, américaine. You're getting better each time. Thanks, Chloe. I think I'm starting to get a feel for the patterns. It's just a lot to remember for each country. It is, and that's totally normal, Devendra. The key is to practice. Let's try a quick mini role play. I'll ask you, tu es de quelle nationalité? What is your nationality? And you tell me you're Indian. Okay, I'll try. Je suis indienne. Excellent, Devendra. That's absolutely correct for you. Now, what if I asked you about a female friend? Let's say her name is Priya, and she's also Indian. How would you say she is Indian? Elle est indienne? No, wait, it should be feminine, so elle est indienne. Bravo, Devendra. You corrected yourself perfectly. That's exactly it. Elle est indienne. That shows you're really paying attention to the agreement. Fantastic work. If this is helping you, a quick thumbs up sends it to more learners. Thanks, Chloe. That correction really helps solidify it for me. What about saying where I come from, like the actual country name? Great question, Devendra. That brings us to our next key phrase, je viens de, which means I come from. This is where we use the country's name directly, and it involves prepositions that also agree with the country's gender. Oh, more gender. I suppose countries have genders in French too? They do. Most countries ending in E are feminine, like la France, France, or l'Inde, India. Most others are masculine, like le Canada, Canada, or le Japon, Japan. And then some are plural, like les États-Unis, the United States. So, je viens de will change based on the country's gender. Exactly. For feminine countries, we simply use de. So, I come from France is je viens de France. Can you try that, Devendra? Je viens de France. Parfait. For masculine countries, we use du. So, I come from Canada is je viens du Canada. Your turn, Devendra. Je viens du Canada. Excellent. Now, if the country starts with a vowel, whether it's masculine or feminine, we use D apostrophe.
That D apostrophe is just like l'hôtel instead of les hôtels. It helps with the flow of speech. And finally, for plural countries like the United States, we use des. So, I come from the United States is je viens des États-Unis. Je viens des États-Unis, meaning pronounces je viens des États-Unis. Wonderful, Devendra. You handled that liaison between des and États-Unis perfectly. It's the S becoming a Z sound. So, to summarize, des for feminine countries, du for masculine, D apostrophe for countries starting with a vowel, and des for plural countries. Does that make sense? Yes, Chloe, it does. It's a bit like a versus an in English, but with more options based on gender. I think I've got it. So I could say je suis indien and je viens d'Inde to mean the same thing, essentially. That's right, Devendra. They both express your origin, and often you'll hear both used in conversation. Now, let's talk about something fascinating culturally. You know, Devendra, in France, it's quite common for someone to ask, tu es d'où? Meaning, where are you from? Even more often than quelle est ta nationalité? Meaning, what is your nationality? That's interesting, Chloe. Why is that? Well, it's a subtle but important difference. Tu es d'où can refer to your city or region, not just your country. For example, a Parisian might say, je suis de Paris, rather than je suis français, to specify their origin more precisely. It's a way of expressing a deeper, more local identity, which is very important in French culture. France has many distinct regions, each with its own history, cuisine, and even subtle accents. That makes a lot of sense, Chloe. In India, people often ask, which state are you from, or even which city, before asking about the country, especially if you're speaking a regional language. It's about connecting on a more personal, local level. Exactly, Devendra. It's a fantastic cultural comparison. So, when you're asked tu es d'où, you can answer with your country, or if you want to be more specific and know the French name for your city, you can use that too, like je viens de Mumbai or je viens de New Delhi. Just remember de for cities generally. Unless it starts with a vowel, then it's D apostrophe. Wow, that's a great insight, Chloe. I wouldn't have thought of that difference. It really helps me understand how to respond more naturally. That's what we aim for at Langmitra, Devendra. Not just the language, but the culture behind it. If you've made it this far, here's a bonus tip. You can extend this to talk about groups too. For example, nous sommes américains, meaning we are American, or ils viennent d'Allemagne, meaning they come from Germany. The nationality adjective will still agree in gender and number. It's a natural extension of what we've learned. That's a great bonus, Chloe. So much useful information. You've made incredible progress today, Devendra, and everyone watching. Let's do a rapid-fire review of some key vocabulary. I'll say the French, and you repeat and give me the English meaning. Ready? Ready. Français. Français, French, meaning masculine. Française. Française, French, meaning feminine. Indienne. Indienne, Indian, meaning masculine. Indienne.
Indienne, Indian, meaning feminine. Canada, Canada, Canada. États-Unis, États-Unis, United States. Superbe, Devendra. Now, let's try a quick mini conversation. I'll ask you 2 questions and you answer using what we've learned. Quelle est ta nationalité, Devendra? And then, tu es d'où? Okay, je suis indien and je viens d'Inde. Magnifique, Devendra. Compare how you said that at the beginning versus now. Huge difference. Your pronunciation is clearer and your confidence is shining through. You're a natural. Thanks, Chloe. I really feel much more confident now. This lesson was incredibly helpful. My pleasure, Devendra. And for all of you learning, remember to review your study cards on Langmitra after this lesson for all the vocabulary, grammar, and cultural insights, and try the practice exercises to improve your pronunciation and test your understanding. You can find all these words in the vocabulary section on Langmitra. In our next episode, we'll continue building on identity by talking about professions and hobbies, allowing you to describe what you do and what you enjoy. It's another crucial step in forming complete sentences and expressing yourself more fully in French. If today's gender agreement patterns surprised you, drop it in the comments below and share this with someone you know learning French. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time. Au revoir, Devendra. Au revoir, tout le monde.
Before we recap, one quick ask. What worked for you in this lesson? What felt hard? And what topic should we teach next? Drop it in the comments. Your feedback shapes what we build next.
One language sets you in a corridor for life. Learn language with podcast. Subscribe.